Welcome, age of vintage society. Many men would envy Omar Sharif. The actor's portrayal of Sharif Ali, Prince of the Desert, in David Lean's Lawrence of Arabia, catapulted him to international fame at the age of 30. For decades, Sharif enjoyed beautiful women, fast horses, bridge tournaments and gambling. How Omar Sharif's affair with Barbara Streisand caused Hollywood's biggest political scandal. Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Age of Vintage channel. Omar Sharif was one of the few Arab actors to make it big in Hollywood. He won international fame and an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role in the 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia with Peter O'Toole. In that film he first appears on the back of a camel, dressed as a Bedouin in headscarf and robes, brandishing a rifle as he rides toward a well where Peter O'Toole's Lawrence and his guide are drinking. He drops the guide with one shot. As Sharif emerges from the desert, you see an actor who looks nothing like the movie stars audiences were used to, nothing like O'Toole's blonde, blue-eyed good looks. Sharif is handsome with a square face, dark, moody eyes, the signature moustache, and the moment he opens his mouth, that accent. Born on April 10, 1932 in Alexandria, Egypt, as Michel Dimitri Chaloub, Omar Sharif was one of Egypt's most prominent actors, and one of the rare ones to make it big internationally as well. He is of Lebanese descent, but was born and bred in Egypt. His parents were of good social standards, his father in the wood business, and his mother a notable society hostess who often hosted King Farouk to play cards. His mother was a socialite and known gambler. She often played cards with King Farouk, who believed that she brought him good luck. Sharif said about his mother, "By night she would play cards, by day she would give me the slipper. She hit me on the backside every day till I was 14. She was an extraordinary woman. She lived till 1998. I was very close to her, even though she beat me all the time." When Sharif was 4, his family moved to Cairo. At that point his father began salvaging barbed wire left over from World War II, and made even more money that way. Sharif said that his father's business was successful, but only because of dishonest and immoral ways. When he was 10, he went to the Victoria College boarding school, where he performed in his first production. After that he was hooked. He graduated from Cairo University with a degree in maths and physics, but acting was always his passion. His father forbid him to act, and said he had to join the family business. But after joining the business, he slashed his wrists to scare his father into giving him more freedom. He finally left for London to study at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Omar Sharif started acting in Egypt in 1954. His first film was Devil in the Desert. The same year he appeared in another Egyptian film, Struggle in the Valley. Sharif quickly began landing lead roles in Egyptian cinema and became a star. In 1959 Sharif starred in an Egyptian adaptation of Anna Karenina called The River of Blood. Sharif was also very fluent in languages such as Arabic, English, French, Spanish and Italian. Though Sharif once confessed that he enjoyed acting in English language films, he was already a star in Egypt before he made his move to Hollywood. In an interview he was forthcoming about his love for the English language. "Well, the only thing that I like to act in is English. The other languages I can speak, but I can't act as well in any other language. I like to speak English in theatre. I made French films and other films and a lot of Arabic films, but what I like is English for myself." His meeting with English director David Lean was a turning point in his life, when he gave him a role in his movie Lawrence of Arabia, which presented Omar Sharif for the first time to the West. Omar Sharif won 3 Golden Globes for his roles in Lawrence of Arabia in 1962 and Dr. Zhivago in 1965. Sharif was originally cast in a much more minor role, but as some other actors turned down the role of Sharif Ali, Sharif was cast in the role. While working on the film, Sharif helped Alec Guinness develop his Arab accent. Guinness was playing the role of Prince Faisal of Iraq. Sharif's character was the Arabian companion of the title character of the film, played by Peter O'Toole. The film focused on T.E. Lawrence, a British officer who collaborates with the Arab National Council during World War I to fight against the Ottoman Empire. Sharif's character was fictional and was an amalgamation of some Arab leaders who had served alongside T.E. Lawrence during the First World War. The film was a huge success and garnered 10 Academy Award nominations. It also continues to receive huge critical acclaim and was a commercial success. Some directors have since claimed it served as their inspiration for getting into filmmaking. Sharif had been utterly unknown outside of the Middle East before the film, but afterward made him a well-known star. Sharif benefited from Hollywood's general view of all foreigners of being largely interchangeable, and his linguistic skills only added to his ability to play multiple nationalities. His next film saw him again appear alongside Alec Guinness. Sharif appeared in the 1964 historical epic The Fall of the Roman Empire. The film was famous for having the biggest outdoor film set ever constructed and being a huge financial flop. Despite its commercial failure, the film was quite well received by critics. The same year, Sharif played the role of Francisco, a priest in Behold, a Pale Horse. The film focuses on the end of the Spanish Civil War and also featured Gregory Peck. The film was unsuccessful and Sharif admitted it was a bad film. Sharif's next role was in The Yellow Rolls-Royce, a composite film that focuses on the different owners of the title vehicle, set around the years of the Second World War. Sharif plays a Yugoslav anti-fascist partisan who is the love interest of Ingrid Bergman's character. In 1965, Sharif played the title role in Columbia Pictures' Genghis Khan. The film was slated for its historical inaccuracy. Sharif's role as the Mongol Khan was entirely overshadowed by his performance the same year in Dr. Zhivago. The film is based in Russia through the years of the First World War and the build-up to and the outbreak of the Russian Civil War. The film sees Alec Guinness's character tell the life story of Dr. Zhivago, Sharif's character, to a young woman. The film then tells of the romantic and political struggles of Zhivago through the political turmoil that faced Russia at the start of the 20th century. The film earned 10 times its budget at the box office and was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. Unlike many actors who changed their name for professional purposes, Omar Sharif's reasons were more personal. He took on the new name and changed his religion, Christian, to Islam in order to marry. From 1955 to 1974, Omar Sharif was married to Egyptian actress Faten Hamama. Sharif converted to Islam in order to marry Faten, and this was when he changed his name to Omar Sharif. They met while filming The Blazing Sun. Faten had refused to be kissed on screen until she met Sharif. The two made more than a dozen movies together. They only got divorced after he was self-exiled in Europe. He chose to remain in Europe in between film shoots because travelling was incredibly difficult due to so many travel restrictions that were in place. The separation was amicable and Sharif never remarried. He said that he never fell in love with another woman again. He once said about his fame, "It gave me glory, but it gave me loneliness too, and a lot of missing my own land, my own people and my own country." Dr. Zhivago also saw Sharif work with director David Lean again. Lean had directed Lawrence of Arabia. The film did come in for minor criticism for its failure to nail down an ideology given its backdrop. However, director Lean had intended to focus only on the human romance rather than the wider political dogma. It was a musical comedy that caused the biggest political fallout of Sharif's career. He was condemned by his home country and by most of the Arab nations when he appeared alongside Barbra Streisand in the 1968 film Funny Girl. The issue was that Streisand was Jewish and Egypt and the wider Arab world still did not recognize Israel. Despite his love for Faten, he also had numerous romances with other women, including Barbra Streisand. Sharif and Barbra Streisand had an affair while filming Funny Girl. When a photo leaked showing them kissing, the affair became a huge scandal as Streisand was Jewish and tensions were still high following the Israeli-Egyptian Six-Day War. This incensed both governments and the public, and worst of all, perhaps, the wrath of Streisand's Jewish mother. Streisand made light of the whole thing, saying, "Egypt angry, you should hear what my Aunt Sarah said." Sharif said that the Arab press called him a traitor for the publicised kiss. "I told them neither in my professional nor private life do I ask a girl her nationality or religion when I kiss her," he said. In a production by Columbia Studios in which all of the investors were Jewish, along with production staff who were pro-Israeli and a media heavily biased towards Israel, one can imagine Sharif's discomfort. But despite his own government banning his films, the producers stuck by him and he completed the film. When Sharif met Streisand, they were both married. Her marriage to fellow actor Elliot Gould was shaky, and despite Streisand's apparent appalling prima donna behaviour on set, she and Sharif hit it off and began an affair which lasted as long as the making of the movie. The backlash from the movie and their affair should not be underestimated. Streisand blames it on her not performing on stage for 27 years because of the stress at the time, which caused her to forget the lines to 3 of her songs at a concert in front of 150,000 people in Central Park. She had been guaranteed a heavy police presence because of the furore of the movie and her affair, but a surprise visit by Soviet politician Alexei Kosygin reduced the protection from 300 officers to 30, making her feel extremely uncomfortable. The end of filming marked the end of the affair. Streisand later said that given the charged atmosphere of making the film, it was difficult to put those feelings to one side once the day's filming had ended. Sharif was always very complimentary about Streisand, but soon got over the breakup by dating his next co-star, Catherine Deneuve, followed by Barbara Boucher after her appearance in Playboy. Sharif never again captured the fame and success of Dr. Zhivago or Lawrence of Arabia. In 1976, Sharif appeared in The Pink Panther Strikes Again, but did not have a major role. Sharif plays the role of Melchizedek in the film The 13th Warrior, which is based on the legend of Beowulf. Sharif was a keen bridge player and was a ranked player. He also lent his name to a bridge video game. Although he was certainly not lacking in self-belief, he was the first to admit that he had squandered his life and career, throwing away the early promise he showed for the easier pleasures of carousing and gambling. Sharif, a heavy smoker, suffered from heart attacks in the early 1990s. Sharif was reported to be suffering from Alzheimer's in 2015. He died of a heart attack on 10th of July 2015. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to support my work, please visit my Patreon page. Now it is your turn. What do you think about the life and legacy of Omar Sharif? It could not be easy for him to prevail among Peter O'Toole and the other already famous Hollywood heartthrobs. But he did it in the end, didn't he?